sensors starts with planning and figuring out what we want to do. So we just started with brainstorming. We were thinking about either doing like a dancing robot or one that comes up and smashes something. And we had a couple ideas on what we want to do with the sensors, maybe using like a flashing light or strobe or something for the light sensor, or playing a song for the sound sensor. We didn't know exactly what we wanted to do yet when it does that, but it's just ideas on how we could make the sensors, trip the sensors. We decided on building AlphaRex from the NXT website. We thought it was, it's the first robot, and he kind of looks like a robot. Seemed kind of easy to do. There he is.
Okay, so we started building it. Me and Spencer and I started building legs, and then Beth and Brian took over building the body and arms. We ran into a few problems with the legs because because we did them 2 different days, each leg a different day, and so they're kind of mixed match. So it took about 5 minutes to fix the problem, but the 2 motors that are right here, they were hitting together, so then it wasn't walking quite right and not quick enough. And overall, the process didn't take too long, and it wasn't too complicated, and that's how we built it. Oh, and we decided on this one just because we saw another video of a dancing robot that danced to Kesha on YouTube, and that was the final decision.
We used the light sensor. We were originally going to have it show like a red ball and a blue ball, but because of where it ended up getting mounted, it was pretty tricky to have it differentiate between those with the ambient light and everything. So we got to go with the red and stuck with that. The program gets stuck on a loop, we figure, or something. So it might also be related to his batteries going low. So sometimes you got to take a paper clip to him to get him in line. His walk is kind of a shuffle most of the time. We looked at ways to get him to walk better, but he'd basically have to use the C# programming and then a compiler to get it into the NXT code. And we figured since this was the first project, we didn't want to mess with that just in case we'd run over. So sometimes he walks better than others. We've messed with different ways of aligning the legs before we start him up, and sometimes it seems to help and other times not at all. Spencer and Hogan both thought of putting the little, we've got a couple little rubber stoppers on the bottom that kind of seem to help him move at least a little bit better most of the time. Apart from that, we also just wanted to add our own sound files to it just to kind of mess with it and see what the process was. It's really simple. I'm sure some of the other groups probably did it, but you basically just have to get it into a WAV format, and then you can download a free program called Wave to RSO. That'll convert it into the file type used by the NXT. And obviously you don't want it to be very long because he doesn't have a lot of memory, so it's got to be preferably like 20, 30 kilobits or so. And that's it.
We'll run that program now.
Just a moment, just a moment.
I suppose we didn't
So we did notice while we were building him, once we got him fully built and started programming him, he became a him rather than an it. So he's kind of a part of our team now.
Okay, so when you touch the sensor, he walks backwards. Or shuffles. Yes, kind of moonwalks. And when you put your hand in front of him, it also recognizes red. It starts, and once it hears the sound, it starts doing a little shimmy. And if you place him, your hand in front of it, it starts shimmying back again. And then you can repeat this process 2 more times. Walk forward. Make him talk again. That's all it does.
Okay. Thank you.